was done, guess how much she had left in her bank account?
53 cents.
No, $75. So she had exactly the amount she had to begin with in her account to begin with at the end of everything. So when I say 53 cents, it's because this. As she spoke then, and she said we're going to be passing the offering plate around from Bishops Dr. and Cheryl, Bishops Jerry and Cheryl Piscopo, Bishop and Dr. Cheryl. And, afterwards they like Bishop always does, she goes, no, this is not for me, this is for you. You take this and you use this for what you need to use it for. He goes, I know it might not be a lot, but you go ahead and you use this for yourself. Even though Bishop already pays for their hotel, pays for their airfare and everything. You know, Bishop pays for it. When someone wants to come down, Bishop pays for their airfare. You know that, right?
Right.
So even though he pays for everything, he says, you use this wherever you want to use it for. But as she was calling the offering plate to be passed around, God spoke to me. He says, pull out your money in your pocket. I said, I ain't got no money, Lord. I pulled out exactly 53 cents that I had to my name. I said, look, Lord, that's all I got, 53 cents. He goes, give it to me. I said, Lord, it's 53 cents. I said, what are you going to do with this? And I argued with God. God came back and he goes, what you going to do with it? And like that, I said, nothing. I can't buy a hamburger with it. God says, give it to me. I said, you can't use it, God. It's 53 cents. This ain't going to do you nothing. I was thinking with my carnal mind, Steve. Finally, I begrudgingly stuffed it in an envelope. I licked it, sealed it, I stuffed it so far into that offering plate. I thought that offering plate was going to fling down to the floor and all that money was going to disperse everywhere. I was so mad right then because God wanted me to give him something that was mine. And I was mad at him. I was still mad at him for everything that was going on, too. I said, what are you going to do with it? Because I said that because I was still mad at him. Not even a week later, after giving 53 cents, a lady messages on Facebook about a furnished basement for rent. $500. Includes everything. We messaged her immediately. She said, are you serious? And we go, yes. We came by a couple days later to check out the furnished basement. It had everything. Even had a TV set down there. Everything. Furnished bedroom with chandelier on the roof, on the ceiling. Had everything. We even had our own bathroom with a big giant mirror in it with a sink and everything. Actually had two sinks, I think it was. A his and her sink type of deal.
I saw it.
It was, yeah, you've been there. You've been there a lot of times. It was furnished with everything. Carpeting down there. We had our own kitchen, our own dishwasher. We had everything. So, with that being said, and God will, without you realizing it, God will knock your socks off, because what happened was I gave 53 cents, not expecting anything from God. Even though, because I was just mad at him. I just gave it to him and said, here, take it. I don't want nothing from you, because I was mad at him. So, but not knowing what God was going to do, he blessed my socks off. He knocked them off entirely. Because when we finally got there, she goes, you know what? She goes, start moving your stuff in right now. She goes, you don't even have to fill out the lease agreement until you move in. She goes, I'll give you a couple of days to move in first, settle down, and get settled in, because I know how it is to move, and then we can fill out the lease agreement afterwards. But it's $500. She goes, there's no utilities you have to pay. She goes, but if you so desire to, you can. But she goes, you don't have to pay anything. So we helped her a little bit with the water bill once in a while and stuff like that. So we helped her out and paid parts of the electricity bill and stuff every once in a while. We got blessed. But it was one of those things that I did something, and God, without realizing it, God knocked my socks off. Wouldn't that knock your socks off?
Amen.
I mean, this place was furnished with everything. We just didn't have any furniture like a couch or anything, but it had tables, it had chairs, it had everything. It even had a dining room table. Dining room table and chairs. And a dining room situation. There was a section just for the dining room. It was such a nice basement there. But, and with that being said, one day I went to my wife, I go, hon, I go, remember when I gave 53 cents? She goes, yeah. I said, want to see another 53-cent miracle? She goes, yeah, let's do it. So I got 53 cents from my wife. I went to church that night as we were playing harmonica, as I was playing harmonicas that night. And I believe I was still playing harmonicas. There was a time where I wasn't because my harmonicas were going bad. But I said, you want to see another 53-cent miracle? Because we were about to be kicked out of this place, of the basement area with, what was her name again? I've forgotten her name, but we were being kicked out. Cynthia. We were being kicked out of Cynthia's basement area with the furnished basement and all that. We're being kicked out. So I said, you want to see another 53-cent miracle? She goes, yeah. And I gave her 53 cents. And I walked into church that day, and I licked and licked and sealed the envelope, and with a smile on my face, I dropped it, and I didn't shove it, and I dropped it. And I said, okay, God, let's do this. Show me another miracle. Not even a week later, her sister messages us, because we weren't sure what was going on, because we might have had something going on or may not have, we don't know. But her sister messaged us about a week later. It always happens a week later for some reason for me. And her sister called us. I said, yeah. She goes, we're moving out of the condo that we're living in. We're moving out and we're moving to a house in Royal Oak. She goes, how about this? She goes, your landlord's kicking you guys out and you won't have a place to stay for a while. Why don't I talk to my landlord and see what we can do and see if we can get you to get into here at the same same rate that I was paying. She was paying like $800 for it. And so she contacts her landlord and she goes, yeah, my landlord said he would love to have you guys in here. And she says, you pay no more than what I paid, which was $800. And we said, cool. So we got to meet the landlord. And he said we could start moving things. And we didn't have to fill out the lease agreement right then and there either. I have to give him 53 cents. And as soon as we got in there, and we both said, well, my wife said this too. My wife actually said it the most. But she goes, well, we want to say thank you for letting us move into here. She goes, because we don't have a lot of money these days, and we're just getting kicked out, and we don't got a lot of money these days. She says, but we have money to move in right now. So, and we borrowed a little bit of money from her sister to move in because he wanted first month's rent and security deposit, which security deposit was last month's rent anyways. So we moved in. We borrowed some from her sister. We gave it back to her sister, and we gave him the money, and we moved in. Well, come to find out that we didn't actually have to pay the condo fee that was associated with the property because he paid for it. The only thing we had to pay for in that condo was just our utilities, and our utilities were together, electric and gas, and we paid no more than $50 a month on utilities in that house, in that condo. It had a built-in swimming pool for the residents to use. It had a laundry room and everything. So we were blessed giving 53 cents. And here's the killer part. When we got in there, we didn't have to pay what her sister paid. We paid $50 less. So we paid $750. And we paid no condo fee, and all we had to pay for was just utilities, and that was it. And on top of all that, even though we paid them the fee, the $750 plus the last month's rent for us would have been $750 because that's all we had to pay. And we borrowed it from her sister. We paid her back, even though we did all that. At the end of our stay, he goes, you guys kept this condo really nice. Luckily, we don't have to do no fixing up whatsoever. He goes, here's your $750 back. So he gave us back the security deposit because we kept that place nice. So not only did we give it to him, but we got it back, and we got a place to stay in. That $750 came in nice and handy when we moved down here to Ohio. So you see, when you least expect it, Steve, God will knock your socks off. Amen?
Amen.
I don't want to have to go through a long story like that, but I love giving true stories about my life and things like that, because when you do that, and a lot of people don't like that because they don't know whether you're telling the truth or not, but when it comes from the heart like this, and it's true, it makes what God's doing even stronger now, because there's something that God did for somebody else that can encourage somebody else. to do the
I
same
was
kind
there
of thing.
too.
You know what I mean?
I was there for everything.
So how has God in the past knocked your socks off?
Oh, I'm blessed to be alive.
Hey, that's enough to knock your socks off in the first place.
That's right.
Because most people, when they go to bed, they don't wear socks. So let's get to not to talking right now. Let's get into another song. Let's do where are we at? Let's do this one. Let's do Mansion's Melody with Prophet Dr. Larry Rell. Amen.
Amen.
In my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not true, He would have told me so. He has gone away to build that bright city. He is building me a mansion, there I know. He has promised that someday He'd come back for me, to take me to my home, way up in glory. In my Father's house are many mansions, and soon to this bright land I'll surely go. Mansions can't be bought in heaven. Heaven's streets are paved with pure gold. You may own 1,000 buildings, deeds and titles you may hold, but forever in heaven, where mansions can be bought or sold, where mansions can be bought or sold.
That once again was Mansion's Melody by none other than Dr. Prophet Larry O'Rell. And I've been getting good at this now, because in some parts of my music, Steve, because on CD, when they record it, they don't record it properly. So the next part of the bit of the CD comes in on a previous song sometimes, and it's not the way the CD's mainly done. It's the way when you record it into multiple different settings. And so part of the other song comes in. So now when I'm doing songs that have a brief few minutes left before the next song comes in by accident, I stop it right then and there beforehand, so that way I know that's not going to come in again. Because sometimes that comes in because there's some songs that flow into another song. You ever notice that? Like when Tom does things like that, it flows into another song.
Yeah.
And when it flows into another song like that, that's when you got a piece of a song coming in. So I stop it beforehand. I'm getting good at that now, so I don't have a piece of something else